Good morning, everybody. Rev Rick here, Broadman Baptist Church. This is the Broadman Word for November 30th, 2020. We are rolling right into the Christmas season. Advent started on the 29th, and what an amazing time of the year it is. It's a wonderful time to reflect backwards and look forwards and just truly understand the meaning of this time. And so, today, we're going to take a look at the need for us to be dependent. You were created to be dependent, and God welcomes your dependency on His grace and through His grace. So the question then is, why would we ever want to go it alone? We are told and believe a couple of lies about autonomy and about self-sufficiency. And so today, we're going to proceed with some perspectives on this from the devotional New Morning Mercies. And so let's take a look. Way back from the days of Adam and Eve in the garden and the deception by the serpent, there was two foundational lies, and those lies still exist today. They have been believed by nearly every person who has ever lived, at least to some extent, and they would be: one, the lies of autonomy, and two, the lies of self-sufficiency. Let's tackle autonomy first, all right? This lie tells you that you are an independent human, that your life belongs to you, and that you have the right to your life as you please. It's a very easy lie to believe. It's sort of seductive. It kind of puts the emphasis on self and our, general understanding as Americans about our freedom. But it's the same sort of lie that makes a little child scream when told to go to bed or to eat their peas or whatever issue there might be. However, if we take a look at it, the doctrine of creation sort of destroys this lie of autonomy. Think for just a second. Creation depicts ownership. Let's say that a painter creates a painting and they compose it, they paint it, they complete it, they frame it, and so it belongs to them because they made it. Same thing with anything that you create, right? Now you could buy this painting from the painter, they might gift it to you, or you might inherit it, or it gets relinquished in some other way. But until that point, the painting belongs to the painter. So, since God created you and me, we belong to Him. We don't own our mentality, our spirituality, our emotionality, our psychology, our personality, or our physicality. We do not own these things. We are not independent beings, and we do not have a natural right to our physical and our spiritual selves, whatever they may be, or whatever we may desire to do. Autonomy is actually a life-destroying lie. The second lie is that we are self-sufficient, the lie of self-sufficiency. And this lie tells you that you have everything within yourself that you need to be all that you are supposed to be and do whatever it is that you are supposed to do. It explains why a little child trying to tie their shoes slaps their parent's hand away when trying to help, even though the child really has no idea of how to make a bow or complete the process at all. The doctrine of creation destroys this lie as well. Creation depicts dependency. The flower that you might, or plant that you put in your garden, is not self-sufficient. It requires watering, weeding, tending, and other sorts of attention, or it's not going to grow well, or it may grow but then very quickly die. So you and I were created to be dependent, first on God and then on other interdependent relationships in our life. Immediately after creating Adam and Eve, what did God do? He began talking to them because he knew that they did not have the capacity to figure things out on their own. So this lie that we tell ourselves about self-sufficiency is an equally life-destroying lie because it causes us to resist the help of our Creator, like the little child slapping away the hand of the parent trying to help him or her tie their shoes. The very help that we were designed to need, He's willing to give us if we don't slap His hand away. You see, going it on your own really just doesn't work. It's not how the system was designed. It's not how you were designed. And trying to do so makes you operate outside of God's creation and His intent for the natural processes of His children. And so there is immediate failure and then also long-term difficulties. A self-made man is always a poorly made man. I know in our American culture we value self-sufficiency and triumph and winning, and this concept of the self-made person, I guess we shouldn't just say man, is heralded. But when you break it down and you look at it in terms of a biblical worldview, this sort of self-made autonomy or self-made independence really isn't what God wants for us. It's an argument for our need of grace when you take a look at the argument of creation. It takes an act of grace to release us from our bondage to sin and to these lies so that we will confess our need for grace and then seek the grace that is the only thing that we can put our hope and faith in and trust our life and our afterlife. It really does take grace in order to know how much you need grace. One more time. It really does take grace in order for you to know just how much you need grace. Some further study and encouragement on this can be found in John chapter 15, verses 1 through 17. Great place to dig into today. And for now, I love you. Take care. And always remember, it's a marvelous day to be a Christian. We'll see you next time.